EhMaGawd.
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 Welcome to EhMaGawd, the podcast where two angsty overthinkers from different generations discuss the timeless issues that affect us all.
I'm Lisi Harrison, author of 42 novels, including the Click series, the focus on friend drama, my obsession with secret societies, and all the things my therapist is tired of talking about.
EhMaGawd.
I'm Ellen Marlowe, actress, singer, writer, and proud Massey Block survivor.
EhMaGawd.
And together, we are your unlikely besties.
Each week, we'll break down one of the issues we're obsessing over. Things like wedding drama, dating, and career angst, to name a few. But because I'm Gen X and Ellen is a millennial, you'll get two very different takes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we'll have guests, sometimes we'll be solo.
But every week, you can count on our current State of the Union.
Oh my God.
Let's get into it.
We can begin.
Now we can begin. I mean, it's how we start every single call, so
It is.
Makes sense. And I love how yours says girl and mine says
Yeah.
homie.
That's
love it.
perfect. I have to say it is a genius little marketing thing because I do pay attention. I like it,
I
and
know.
I very intentionally select for my mood of the day. Whoever did
I
this,
know, I like
kudos,
it too.
man. It's cheesy, but I love it. Should we talk about my hair?
Let's talk about your hair.
Let's talk about my hair because it is so on point for what we wanted to talk about today in general, which is
Completely.
identity crisis or crises, identity both experiencing them for different reasons, different stages of our lives. And it is so on point that today I cut 3 inches off my hair before recording this and was definitely questioning, like, who am I now with short, bouncy hair? Am I a soccer mom or am I chic? What is it? If I pop my collar, maybe I'm chic, which is kind of what I'm going for. But is it not sexy to do this? Who am I now? Now we're talking about identity crisis. Perfect segue. I did it all for the show.
Perfect. Identity crisis is today's subject. First of all, for the audience, this is the longest that Lisi and I have gone in 2.5 years without a proper catch up.
Yeah, it's weird.
So we have a lot to break down. We saved it for today.
I don't know if I like the tantric friendship because now if something happens in our lives because we're doing this, we will purposely avoid each other so that we don't blow the load, so to speak.
Save it for the pod.
I know. And so I love it for the pod, but I hate it for us. I just had to say that.
100%. But
It's a
I've been
struggle.
gone for the past 2 weeks.
You have.
I was just in New York and it felt like 2 months, if I'm being honest, because it was just so jam-packed with a ton of different things. But it felt very, very busy. And so I felt like I was gone forever. And I have much to report and much to talk about in terms of identity crisis, because that's kind of what I was going through when I was there. So we'll start with your hair, which is of today, and then we'll rewind over the past 2 weeks and catch
Okay.
up on what all we've missed. I think your hair is fabulous. What motivated you to chop off 3 inches?
I just went in and I felt like the extra length was carrying around all of my angst of 2025. There was some sort of like, if I get rid of the hair that's keeping my secrets and keeping my angst, then I'm just like lightening the load. It was a very impulsive move. And I got like the back shorter than the front to make sure that it was like more sort of punk rock than soccer mom. But now I'm kind of like bouncing and behaving.
I think it's
got sass.
unbelievably chic. It is not soccer mom at all. I think it's so
Thank
chic.
you.
I think I look like more of a soccer mom than you do in this moment. I am giving full suburbia Desperate Housewives. I did the exact same. We're so the same, Lisi. It's so funny. I
know.
did the exact same thing last time I got my hair done. I was like, my hair was so long and I was like, I feel like it's just dragging me down and it's dragging my face down, dragging my energy down. So I just wanted a chop. And then the second I chopped it, I was like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Who am I?
The fact that hair can define you to that extent that you literally have this moment where you're just spiraling of like, I don't know who I am, I don't recognize myself. What's the world going to think of me? What is my reflection going to think of me? Do my clothes work with this? Do I have to start wearing jewelry and lipstick? What is like, and it happens in a matter of seconds.
It's
the
so
whole
silly.
shift.
Yeah. But it's not exclusive to women. That's what's funny. Men are really precious about their hair too. Is Wyatt crazy about his hair? Is he weird about his hair?
Look, he's not weird about it, but he's particular about it. So
Yes,
it's got to
they
be
are.
like very, it's almost like a Lego. Like it's like up and back perfectly, but he does it very well. Because when it falls flat in the Caesar,
Yeah.
dude, what a look that was.
Caesar.
Were you even born for that trend in the 90s? It was horrible. Do you remember that haircut?
I was definitely alive, but it was not happening. I was like probably 4 when that was happening.
Yeah, it was.
So,
I'm glad you
I don't
missed
know.
it.
Yeah,
was
no,
horrible.
men are fussy about their hair too, which gives me a little bit of solace because you know what men have to deal with? That is just like, thank God they have something. Balding. Thank God. Like, they
It's a
need
good one.
something. The fact that they have to deal with that makes me just feel a little bit of peace because
I
we
agree.
have to deal with so much.
So much.
But yeah, it's funny how men, like my brother and my dad are so particular about their hair. My boyfriend Clive has the most gorgeous head of hair ever.
He does.
Like,
it's very robust.
it's unreal. It's so thick and so pretty. And because of that, he just like lets it do whatever it wants to do. And sometimes it looks insane. This weekend, I was like, you look like a Hanson brother. You need a haircut so bad. You have like feathered hair. It's crazy. So yeah, it does give me a little bit of peace. That is not just us, but I think your hair looks fabulous.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I will be dressing a little more chic. Like now my wardrobe and makeup has to rise to my hair. It's weird how, again, now my wardrobe's having an identity crisis. Just to define identity crisis, like, so we're all on the same page here. It's really when you're questioning your sense of self, you're questioning your purpose in the world, your place in the world. And I think so much has happened to both of us recently that is causing us to do that. But so much happens to us all the time as we go through life that we're constantly questioning where we fit in, our place in the world. Are we with the right people? Am I dressing the right way for how I feel right now? All of it. And why is it so goddamn important? Talk about it.
I don't know. I don't know why it's so important. But the thing that brings me peace, my mantra, if you will, that I say to myself constantly is everything in life is temporary. Because it is. Every moment, every phase that you're in, you could be going through something horrible. I look back at the pandemic or other terrible times in my life in true awe and say, I can't believe that was even me because that was so dark and so crazy. I didn't even feel like myself, but it passed. I felt like I was having an identity crisis then. I feel like I have an identity crisis every other day, if I'm being honest. I mean, especially with what I just went through in New York. So I guess we can move on to that.
Okay, talk about it. Go.
Okay, so I was just in New York City for 2 weeks I'll just be transparent. I was there auditioning. I was auditioning.
You were. Lots of callbacks.
Callbacks,
Proud of you.
auditions. Thank you. It all went really, really well. Everything's good. Don't know anything yet, but it all went great. So I had to fly up to New York and do those auditions, but there was a week, 5 days, I guess, where I went out to my brother's house, which is where we recorded our last podcast. And then I had to go back to the city for a callback. So I kind of just got stuck there for a couple weeks when I really initially thought I was only going for 5 days. And on top of it all, had all this business to attend to that was like very high pressure, very high stakes, and everything everywhere all at once. I lived in Manhattan for my entire 20s, and I was so that girl. I was up at the gym, 5 a.m., on the subway to my office job, working all day, taking an audition opportunity on my lunch break, then leaving, going to happy hour, and then going to work at a restaurant.
The New York dream.
I was living that New York dream my whole 20s, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Obviously, post 2020, I had to make some major life changes, and I ended up moving back home to Austin, which was the best decision ever. But it's funny because I miss New York and I miss that version of myself all the time. And I think it's mostly because I grew up in New York and LA. And when I say grew up, I mean age 11 onward. So as a child, I lived here in Austin. I don't really connect with the culture here. That's the only thing. I love it here. I love the city. I love the people. I love the food. I love everything about living here. But country music and football and a lot of the culture here, I just don't connect with. And I feel the most at home when I'm in Hell's Kitchen with the gays.
Totally.
It really is. It's my happy place. It's where I feel the most like myself. I'm like, this is the truest version of me. Going to see a Broadway show, grabbing happy hour with the gays, hustling and going to auditions. I don't know if that's true or if it's just because that's what I was used to for so many years, but New York has that effect on me. And so I was really feeling that way. I had very successful auditions. And then this is the night that I wanted to tell you about, and I've been saving to recap with you because it was a classic New York day. So just indulge me for a moment. I am in the city. I have my callback. Went fantastic. Had to audition for something else that afternoon. Had to put it on tape. My brother came and played piano for me, helped me. Thank God. Love him.
Eilish energy.
Eilish energy big time. Also the Carpenters. We like to say
I
the
like
Carpenters
that. Okay.
because we're 100.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm not Gen Z and cool like Billie Eilish. So we have that audition, go to happy hour with my brother and his partner at a bar where my best friend works, have a cocktail, see my best friend. So fun. Last minute, as I'm sitting at the bar, I get a ticket to Oh Mary, which is a play on Broadway right now. Have you heard about this?
No.
It is the hottest, buzziest play for the past year. It is the craziest premise ever. It's a person named Cola Scola who is in drag as Mary Todd Lincoln, who is an ex-cabaret star alcoholic. It is crazy. And so I've been dying to see it, but the tickets are astronomical. Like,
I mean, what are Broadway tickets now? Seriously.
for the orchestra,
$1,000?
for the orchestra for that play, which is 90 minutes, no intermission, were $400. No way. I'm not doing that. No way. And so I got a $90 ticket up in the sky, which was great. I just wanted to see the show. So I go see the play by myself, crack up. It was so fun, such an experience. Loved it. Then after the show got out, I just had a little urge to go have a chilled martini somewhere. So
Love you. You are an old gay man.
so
Love it.
wait until you hear where I went. So I just got out of the show and said, it's time for a sophisticated cocktail. So I walk over, and normally I would gatekeep this place, but I will share with the GLUs because if you're a GLU, it's fabulous and you should know about it. I went to a bar called Bar Centrale. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay. It's on 46th Street in between 8th and 9th.
My old work zone. That's exactly where I used to work.
Totally.
Viacom building. Yeah.
Exactly. And it is simply a bar in a brownstone. The only reason that you know that it's a bar is because there's an A in the window. So this is a very classic pre-theater, post-theater place to get cocktails, only if you know. Not to be such a douche
Well,
about
now
it,
we
but
do.
it's that kind of thing. And it's also the kind of place, like, I don't know. You know those places in Hollywood and in New York where you go to the Beverly Hills Hotel, you're going to see someone famous. Like it's kind of like that. I've never been to Bar Central and not seen a celebrity ever. So it's one of those places. So I beat the rush because the show was only 90 minutes. I get in there. There's no one in there. I sit down at the bar, and then these two women come in and they start talking. And I'm just sitting there minding my business, having my Vesper by myself. And they start talking about going to the Brown graduation. They're like, this girl's telling her friend, oh, I went to the Brown graduation for James and I was with SJ and Matthew and blah, blah, blah. And she's talking about Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. And so, of course, my ears perk up. I'm like totally eavesdropping and listening about her weekend with SJ and Matthew. And just as that happens,
And just like that,
as I'm sitting and eavesdropping, sipping my Vesper, my biggest celebrity sighting of all time occurs.
Diane Keaton.
I would die, but no, this was bigger. It's huge.
Bigger
This is
than Diane
easily the
Keaton for
biggest.
you?
This is huge for anyone. This is a big one.
Patti LuPone.
Would die, even though she's been in some hot water lately. No, out of the corner of my eye, I see the magnificent, brilliant, prolific director known as Steven Spielberg.
Oh my God.
I literally went, like,
That's
gasped
hilarious.
out loud. But it's always like that. You say, like, my dad saw Sarah Jessica in there one time. Like, you always see people like that in there. And so I'm like, oh my God, stay cool. He goes, he has security. There's a bodyguard with him. Yeah. I mean, he's walking in Hell's Kitchen. You kind of have to.
I
like,
know, but
I
that
kind of
seems
get it.
Not New Yorkish to me, though. It seems LA, not New York.
He didn't stay like right by him or anything, but like walked him in, saw him to his table, and then stood by the front. So it was Steven Spielberg and three other people. I saw his wife, Kate Capshaw, the actress,
Love her.
who's obviously Indiana Jones 2, icon, anything goes, we die. And then there were two other people with them. I didn't see them because I was blinded by Spielberg. So I'm like, okay, that's insane. My best friend Crystal texts me. She's like, hey, come over. We're having wine on the balcony. I'm like, sounds amazing. I'm having a martini by myself. I'll down it. I'll be right over. Let me run to the restroom, catch another glimpse at Spielberg, and I'll be on my way. I go to the bathroom, and as I'm walking back to the bar from the restroom, I see the couple that's sitting with them, and the guy was just caught my eye for being very good looking and honestly like jacked. He was really big and muscular. And I was like, God, that guy's good looking. I then realized the couple having cocktails with Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw is John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I was like, what? I was shook.
And it sucks that you were alone because you could be lying. Like, you have no proof.
This always happens to me when I'm alone. This always happens to me. I always have the craziest encounters just on my own. Then I went and saw my friends. We had the best time just cackling. It was just such a New York City day. It's like auditions, happy hour, Broadway show, Steven Spielberg sighting, and then
So
friends.
was this when you left me? Because there was a pivot with you where you left me this drunk, jubilant, I love it here, I'm so my best self. It could have been me leaving the message because that's how I feel in New York too. And you were just like euphoric. I want to move back here. This is my place. This is where I'm the best. And then the next day, it was a hard pivot.
Hard no.
The tune was very different. Go on.
Right. And so it was, and that was also a day where like the weather was perfect. I mean, all of these things factor into a perfect New York City day. And you and I had cocktails in the city one time, and that was a perfect New York City day as well.
Yes.
I had lunch at St. Ambrose and walked through the park. I had cocktails at the Carlisle. Then I came and met you. Then I had dinner at Balthazar. Like, goodbye. It was so
It's like
fun.
every day, all those good New York days are like the movie, like rom-com falling in love montages where it's like 90 things happen. They're all perfect, but it's like, well, that was a good hour. And it's like 1,200 things just happen. That's
100%.
New York. The energy that you have there to just jump from place to place. In Laguna Beach, this is a quick segue, but I am asleep. Like, I'm in bed by 8:30. There's nothing for me here. I'm done. I'm so tired and I have no personality after 7 p.m. In New York, I'm a rager. I don't know what it is.
It's the energy of the city. The city has so much energy. Like I mean, and I do have that moment every single time when I'm wherever I'm staying, whether it's a hotel or an apartment. I step out, put my headphones on, and I'm on the avenue, and I'm like, I'm that bitch. Like, I'm so that bitch.
Ugh. The stride, the energy in the stride.
Literally, the world is my runway. And then the next day, it's cold, rainy, auditions are done, callbacks are done, no more to do. I'm just kind of like wandering through the city going, what am I supposed to do with myself?
It's like you had a great one night stand and then the next day you're like, ew, that's who I was with.
It was the equivalent of a walk of shame. Like, I was a walking shame. It was so crazy. Then the next day, after I crashed hard from the magic of the day before, and honestly, the 2 weeks before, and I think it's also because I had been doing so much preparation for these auditions, and there was just so much buildup that after it was all over for now, I don't know, I crashed. All I wanted was to come home. I want to go have Tex-Mex. I want to see my boyfriend. I want to see my dog. I want to see my family. I need to go see the cows. I got to go home. I have to go touch grass. I was so done with the weather, too. It was cold and rainy almost the entire time I was there. Here, of course, it's like 95 degrees.
So does it make you wonder, like, which Ellen are you? Are you Austin Ellen? Are you New York Ellen? Are you still auditioning because you're clinging to like Ellen of yesteryear? Is auditioning and being in plays what you want to do moving forward? Like, the whole idea of identity is,
I know,
it's maddening because I'm constantly struggling with it. And I'm like, what identity am I trying to cling to? Like, there's obviously a marker, an anchor, that's the version that I want the most of. And everything I do is going to be held up against that. And so I've really tried to figure out who the, like, my ultimate identity is that I'm trying to mirror and match. And I think it's like New York me, 34, on the right side of 35, just like great career, great friends, disposable income, freedom, dinner starts at 11 p.m., energy, not having to worry about, like, oh, of course, always thinking you're not attractive enough, not thin enough. That's just like part of our factory settings. I hate it, but it's true.
Completely.
But also, like, it was an indulgent kind of insecurity because everything was fine. Like, I could see my skin was where it was supposed to be. Like, I didn't have knee replacements. Like, all my bones and like knees, joints were all there.
Yeah.
So it was like a luxurious kind of angsting about how I looked. But really, there was nothing to worry about. And now I think every identity, like cutting my hair, well, what would 34 fabulous New York City me think of this haircut? But who are we trying to live up to? What version of ourselves are we constantly comparing ourselves to? So when you had your fabulous New York City's my runway moment, and then you're like, get me back to Austin with the cows and the queso, which Ellen is more you right now? Like, does that mean we have to redefine every day who we are with fresh eyes?
I mean, maybe that's the message of the entire episode. It's like, you can be all of it. I think we like to self-identify and label ourselves because the world is very chaotic and overwhelming, and putting things into boxes is very comforting. That's why we create labels for ourselves. People want to identify as a mother or a CEO or a writer or an actor. And I slightly envy people who have a very straight line in terms of their identity, because I never have. People ask me where I'm from, and I kind of don't know how to answer because I'm all over the place. Like, yeah, I was born in Texas, but I moved to New York when I was 10. But then I moved to LA, and then I moved back to New York. But my entire family's been in Texas for 200 years. So I am a Texan for sure. But I don't really identify that way, but I don't identify as an LA girl either. But I don't know if I'm allowed to identify as a New Yorker.
Right. And who is the identifying for? Like, is it for us so that if you go, okay, I'm a Texan, then the choices I make will fall in line with Texas choices and I will have order in my world? Or is the identity for the people out there? Like, is it important that people know I'm a writer, that they know I'm a mother, that they know I'm obsessed with psychology, that they know I do podcasts? Like, what version of myself is the most important version? And is that because that's for me, or is that for others to know how to treat me?
Maybe both too, because we like to put people in boxes too. Just like, this is Lisi, she's a writer. And it's like, you're so much more than that, but you are a writer. So it simplifies things for everyone involved. But I definitely feel that way. And same when people ask me what I do. I'm like, how in the world do I answer that? I'm a Broadway actress. I was also a child actor, but I'm also writing a book with someone right now based off of a movie that I was in when I was in 8th grade. Like, how much time do you have? I mean, seriously, how am I supposed to answer the simple question of what do you do?
And it's like, we're living in these phases. And I wonder if, I don't know if other people see the world this way, but I sort of see the world, when I look back, it's like little bricks of time or episodes of my life that somehow like come together to form the whole scope of my life.
Right.
But I'm in a phase right now where I just started working at one of my good friends' clothing store in Laguna Beach called Summer Snow.
How's that going?
It's so much fun, but like, talk about an identity crisis. Now I'm also a shop girl. But I love it. Like,
I love it.
Come on in. Let me pick outfits for you. Let me figure out how to work the cash register. Let me dress up those mannequins. Like, that's not something I've done. I love selling clothes, turns out. I love styling you and figuring out what I think in this shop will be best for you.
Love it.
And so is that who I am now? Like, maybe. Is it easier to say, you know what? I'm a creative person. So in that falls styling, falls writing, falls podcasting, falls all these different things that hit the creative nerve. Is it easier if we just sort of blanket statement ourselves instead of getting specific?
That's kind of where I've arrived. Yeah, because it's too hard to explain to people, and it's especially for me, and that's what's very troubling. And it's so funny. I've seen and heard people say, why do actors only date actors? And it's like, because this life is too unhinged for regular people to understand. And I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. And Clive gets so offended when I call him a muggle, but like, muggles don't get it. It's taken 2 years of me explaining the hurry up and wait elements of this business to him. He's finally getting it. It's taken 2 years. It's so unusual. No other business runs this way. No other lifestyle works this way. And that's honestly why most of my friends are theater people and actors and creatives and writers and musicians, because they understand the trials and tribulations of being a creative person, which people that work behind a desk or have a regular 9 to 5, which jealous. I probably should have gone that route. I think every creative feels that way every other day. But it's just like, it's too hard to connect.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I feel like we're both in major sort of crossroads with the stages of life that we're in. Like, I have one son in college, another one's going to be a high school senior. I'm kind of an empty nester almost.
Do you have any plans for when your kids are out of the house? Like, are you going to move again? Or do you have any sort of like, I'm an empty nester, I'm going to retire to Florida? You know what I mean? How people do that?
I feel like I have to stay in Laguna Beach because they're going to want to come home. That's like where they want to come home. But in my fantasy, I maintain a home in Laguna Beach and travel and just move around and do and go and have experiences, like restock the pond right now. Like my brain for the last 18 years, it's like, when you're scraping the side of like the ice cream container trying to get the last little bit of ice cream, that's what I'm kind of doing in my brain. Like, is there anything else there that I can pull from? Because your life becomes really tight and small when you have kids and becomes very routine. And I'm the type of person that likes to change it up. And like nothing excites me more than anything new. Any kind of pivot, any level of creativity, anything unexpected, like just turns the power on in my brain. And you don't get as much of that. And so now, talk about an identity shift. I'm writing this book with you, and that's a new phase. Like that's sort of re-entering this world that I have not been in a long time. So it's holding me to one part of my life, one of my favorite parts of my life. But there's also the reality that I'm a lot older doing it, and my kids are at a different phase, and financially I'm at a different phase, and just all of it. My body is at a different phase. My eyes are at a different phase. Like I'm spazzy. And you are also on the cusp of a change, with your age and your stage. We've talked about this.
Totally.
Everyone getting married and having kids. Like this is the end of one phase and the beginning of another for you as well. And so who are you in this phase?
It's so crazy because I was thinking, for whatever reason, I was thinking about my 30th birthday party yesterday. And it was only a year and a half ago. I'm 31. At this point, I honestly had the thought yesterday, I can't imagine being in my 20s. I feel so in my 30s these days. And I don't know what that is or what shifted or why. But I'm like, 29 feels really far away. Like, who is that girl? I definitely am feeling more and more adult than ever recently.
Do you like it? Does that feel good?
I do. Yeah, because I've always, in a weird way, I was always the kid that was working with adults. I've just been surrounded by adults my entire life. And I was also the kid that gravitated towards adults rather than other kids. Even from a very young age, I was always hanging out with the moms and the gay men and just like loving it. And it's so funny. I remember being a little girl and when I was working on Broadway, those gay men in my show, I was so obsessed with them. I wanted to be their friends so bad. I thought they were all so funny because they were. They were all so funny and good looking and talented and fabulous and fun. It's kind of like a childhood dream. I have so many fabulous Broadway dancer gay friends. That's what I always wanted, even when I was 10. So yeah, I mean, I'm like, in a weird way, it's kind of like I'm living my childhood dream. There's been some twists and turns along the way, but we're still here and we're still doing it. So
yeah. It's wild. Yeah, I still sort of like long for my New York person, like who I was then. And I don't know if it's that different other than I had more energy. I was just sassier. Like I just was more. And I think, I don't know, maturity, humility, like it kind of tamps you down a little bit. I'm more aware of what I say, which is good in a lot of ways. I'm not just firing at the hip, like, aren't I cute? Like, no, you're a bitch. But I feel like that's gotten better. But with that comes like, I'm just kind of calmer now. I'm like an old dog that just wants to sleep all day. And
yeah,
maybe, and I have to be okay with that. Like, that's the problem. It's the resistance. That's the key to all of this is the identity crisis comes from resisting what is actually happening. And I'm really trying to work on stop judging the next phase, just be in it and make the most of it. And sort of, who are you today? And that's the marker that you should be measuring yourself against, not who you were 20 years ago, not who you were last week. Like, things change, circumstances change. This is you today with these current circumstances. What are you bringing to the table? It's actually funny. One of my really good friends did mushrooms a couple weeks ago. And
fun.
This is, so you know how I freak out, but you know how you have those like brilliant revelations that are not that brilliant at all, but in the moment you think they are. So she called me after and she's like, I just had the most brilliant revelation from doing mushrooms. And it was, are you ready? And I'm like, yes, I'm ready. She goes, work with what you've got. And I'm like, no, that's good. But brought to you by mushrooms. Like, she was like mind blown. And it is the kind of thing, like, if you think about it, it's so simple. I don't know if she needed mushrooms to get there, but I kind of have adopted that of just work with what you've got.
Work with where you're at.
Work with where you're at.
Bloom where you're planted.
Bloom where you're planted. And it's much easier said than done. But if you can do it for even 5 minutes a day, kind of like meditating, like if you can get 5 minutes of not thinking, you're winning. If you can just not judge and just, who are you? What are your values? How can you bring those things to this current circumstance? That's it. It's fluid. This is a moving train. And to try and stick to where you were is, that train's going to fall off the tracks.
So I wanted to ask you, in terms of when people ask you what your identity is, your backstory is so nonlinear, and you can also identify as so many things. Like, you're Canadian, you're also Jewish. There's another label. You're also a New Yorker, but you're also a Californian, and you're a writer and a shop girl. Like, how do you navigate those questions? Bonus question. Do you feel like how I feel? Do you feel the most like yourself when you're in New York or in Laguna Beach? / what made you move from New York to Laguna Beach? I've never even asked you this.
Oh my God. I feel the most like myself in New York. 100%.
Right.
I've only lived in East Coast cities. I went Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Philadelphia, New York, Laguna Beach.
Do you speak French?
Not a lot. I speak Hebrew, but nobody cares. It's like the most lonely talent. Even like Israelis are like, no, just go away. It's so depressing. But no, I very little French. I skipped a lot of French class to smoke cigarettes and failed. So that was a whole other story.
Love it.
But yes, New York was my ultimate favorite energy when I go back there. Like I said, I love me so much when I'm there. And I oddly have way more confidence when I'm there than in Laguna Beach. Like, I've lived in Laguna Beach now for 18 years, and I'm still like the puzzle piece that's not totally like in. I get along with everybody,
right?
But I can't quite get there. Like, I still have a hard time with the clothes. I still have a hard time with like the culture or lack of culture,
right?
The lack of diversity, the lack of creativity. Like, it's a one-horse town. It's a great community. # love it, # blessed. But it's surf culture. It's, you know, a lot of surf culture and beach culture, which is great, but it's not my culture. I can fit in, but I don't belong, if that makes sense.
That's exactly how I feel here.
New York, I belong. And it's funny because people, like, when a lot of the girls here, and like they go on their girls trips and they're packing for New York and they like go on this shopping spree, like, what am I packing for New York? Like, the bar is so high. And I'm like, I have never felt less outfit pressure than when I'm in New York, because there's something for everybody. Anything goes. There's no uniform. In Laguna Beach, everybody looks the exact same. And that's the goal. The goal is to all look the same, but be the better one at that thing. So have the better hair, have the better blonde hair, better body, better like flowy moo. I mean, in New York, it's everybody be the best at being yourself.
Right.
And that speaks to who I am at my core way more. Like, I love individual. I'm not a group person at all.
Yeah.
So that's why New York's better for me. So we moved here because I had my oldest son, Luke, in New York. And I was like, okay, now this town sucks. Now that I have a kid, get me out. It was the worst. I was in the West Village.
Oh my God, that's so
No,
fabulous.
I was living the dream. It was the best.
God.
I was in I was 10th in Washington, like best. No, the best. Like Cowgirl Hall of Fame at the end of the street.
That's
like,
right by my old office. DVF is right there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's exactly where that is. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that area.
I loved it. Never would have left, but having a kid in that city was a nightmare. Like, it just stopped being fun. And now it's like, oh, it's really cold and I can't go to the bar every day and I can't go out for dinner with my friends. Like, now I'm just in this small apartment. Like, in New York, like, your apartment is just a place to keep your clothes and sleep. Like, there's no cooking happening. There's no entertaining happening. It all happens outside. And once you're trapped inside with kids, I did not enjoy it at all. And so at that point, my husband at the time, Kevin, he's a surfer, and I wanted sunshine and easy barefoot culture. And so we just He loved Laguna Beach. He had surfed here when he was younger. And he's like, let's go here. Here I was, like, knew nobody, knew nothing. I was such a fish out of water. Like, I remember everybody was wearing their athleisure wear, like, to the grocery store. Now it seems so stupid, but at the time, I had never seen anybody at the grocery store wearing, like, workout pants coming from New York.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And it was February and there were women in fur coats and it was 65 degrees. And I'm like, you bitches just came from like -10 degrees.
Right.
How is this cold for you? Now, a day does not go by that I don't complain that I'm fucking freezing all the time.
You've grown so soft in 18 years.
So soft. So
Yeah.
soft. I mean, it's
so
wild.
funny.
But
And it's so weird how you cling to this other identity and then you make these drastic changes in your life. And then all of a sudden you kind of shapeshift and you're now the bitch that's complaining about being cold all of a sudden. It's wild.
dude, so last time I was in New York, this is so bizarre. I was walking down the street at night and there was this enormous, tough bouncer standing outside some club. I look at him, make eye contact, and I go, hey. And then I just was like, what the fuck? Like, I lived in New York for 15 years. I never said hi to a bouncer, let alone anybody when I was walking on the street. My head was down. I was in my little cone. And now I'm the California girl that, like, friendly, says hi to everybody. Like, now I'm that girl. And the guy just looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't
Like
even
you
think
had
it
three
made it
heads.
through his force
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
But I realized afterwards, like, now I'm that girl. I'm like the
Right.
friendly girl that's going to get mugged. And I deserve it.
My God, no. I will say the thing about the city. So over the past 5 years, it's been rough, you guys. I don't know how many of you have been or how familiar you are with New York City. 2020 through 2024, the city felt particularly unsafe, more unsafe than ever before when I lived there. And this recent trip in the spring, the past 2 trips this spring, I'm like, oh, the city kind of is coming. It feels like it's back. It feels the most safe that it has in years. Tons of new restaurants. People are out, which is another contradiction. I'm like, aren't we in a recession? What are these people doing? I'm so confused by the
I
money
am
people
too.
are spending right now because
I am
the
too.
economy is in the toilet.
I still can't believe people are traveling. Like, how are you affording airfare? I don't understand. Like, what am I missing? And like the identity crisis of like, we're really paying for bags now. Like, I can't
God.
get over that. That was like 5 years ago. And I'm like, we're doing that now. So I need to let a lot of stuff go. I really do.
How do you feel about exclusively carrying on a flight? Like, could you do that?
I've done it the last 2 times and I feel incredible. Like, I feel like I invented it, even though I
Me too.
was the last one to that party. I have very chic New York friends who go to Paris and carry on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
in the winter,
Yeah. That's
bulky,
insane.
insane. And I'm like, what are you? How do you do that? And I'd be schlepping 2 gigantic suitcases and still just wearing the same one thing or buying new things when I'm there. Like, so the last 2 trips I did do carry on, and my God, what a difference it makes
It's
to my self-esteem.
unbelievable. No, it's a full ego thing for me.
It is.
I feel so superior to the rest of the world for carrying on and not checking a bag. One, because I've just saved God knows how much money. Now, I mean, the prices just keep going up on checking bags. Like, what is that about? 2, because it's so easy. I love just walking off the plane and walking into a car, like not having to deal with baggage claim, not having to deal with the check line and all. That's always the most chaotic part of the airport.
Well, that's
to
my
me.
least favorite time is waiting for my bag. And you
Yeah.
walk off with like flight attendant energy. Like, I'm
Yes.
just wheeling my bag off to my next destination. I know this airport like the
Totally.
back of my hand. It's
Yep,
so
it's-
great.
It's unbelievable. So I was not totally that person for a long time just because, again, I lived in New York. If I'm going somewhere, especially in the winter, I want to take like 3 different coats because I want to take cute pics in my different coats on my trip and all that shit. So I have typically been a checked bag person. Clive and I went to Italy last summer for 2 full weeks.
I remember this. You did it before I did because I was so impressed.
And I carried on for a 2-week trip where we went to 5 cities. It was ambitious.
With like a new boyfriend ish. So, like, that's
Yeah.
also, you get extra points for that because in that case, you're going to want to pack like extra, look extra cute, all of it.
Right.
I'm proud of
right.
you.
It was life-changing. And when I tell you, we got to the airport in Rome, I had my tiny little bag, and the line for people to check bags internationally was probably 4 hours long. I think if I had to check a bag, we would have missed our flight. Like, it was insane. So just for that reason alone, I'm very pro carry-on. And also something about identity and perspective and age. Let me ask you about something, because I've been thinking about this a lot recently. What are your thoughts and feelings about being an outfit repeater?
Okay, it's so funny you asked that because literally in the last will and testaments in my high school yearbook, you know how they left me an outfit I would wear twice. That's literally in the yearbook because I would never, ever repeat an outfit. I still will not repeat an outfit. Like,
you won't do it.
I'll repeat an article, obviously, but I won't do the same thing twice. I can't. I've literally been known for that since high school. But I have no problem with people who do. I mean, sweats, sure, of course.
Right.
But like going
Comfies.
out outfits, I really try to bring new energy every time. But nobody cares. That's another thing. Nobody notices. Nobody cares.
Literally, ask me what someone was wearing when I went to dinner with them. No one thinks about it. No one remembers. No one cares. And so that's see, you are Massey Block a little bit, minus the meanness. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
She sneaks in there. Like, it's funny. And reading Pretty Committee Strikes Back right now, there is so much of you in that character, in her vulnerability and her sweetness and things like outfit repeating, those things. Like, I do see you in that character so much.
I don't know. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
It's a compliment, not the meanness, obviously.
Well, you were talking today about her packing list. You were reading that part and the sleepover thing that I don't remember doing, but it is so me to like, when I used to go to prom in high school, my friend Marcy and I were so much more excited about the prep for prom than actual prom. Like I came out with a schedule. Like at 9:30, we're going to the body shop and getting like strawberry scented oil. And then at 10:45, at this time, we're going to blow dry our hair. So yes, there's some Massey psychosis.
Massey Block.
Yes. But not.
It's there.
Yeah.
But not.
That stuff.
That's so funny. And so in terms of outfit repeating, I used to care about it much more when I was younger. It really used to be something that I thought about, cared about. I would never wear the same dress twice if I wore it to an event. And now I'm like, does anyone care that I'm wearing the same
and I
dress?
noticed you wear the same polka dot dress to a lot of weddings. And I love that you do because it looks so good on you with your red lipstick, but also like different people, like who cares?
Who cares? Especially for weddings. Okay, let's talk about the weddings for a second and outfit repeating, because this is something I'm passionate about, having now gone to, I think, 5 black tie weddings in the past 2 years. Like, it's too much. And you guys, look for a black tie dress. The average price is $600. I am not about to be spending 600 times 5, like 3.
No.
I mean, no.
And again, nobody cares what you're wearing. Nobody cares.
No
it's
one
how
cares.
you just need to feel good enough to have a good time. That's all.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it. And so I wore the same dress to 2 weddings this spring. And the only person that was at both weddings was Clive. So who gives a shit?
And he doesn't. These guys don't notice. They don't.
And he's wearing the same tux. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do I have to have a different black tie dress for all of these freaking weddings that are a couple of weeks apart and have the
bullshit.
same dress code? Yeah, what difference does it make? And so
it doesn't.
With the weddings, especially if you're going to different demographics, like one was here in Texas with Clive's whole family. I mean, I didn't really know anyone there other than the family. And then we went to my friend's wedding in New York, who, like, no cross-contamination. Just be an outfit repeater. Who cares? You're so much more stylish.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to challenge myself to keep myself interested. But my outfits are shit. That's another thing of identity crisis. I cannot figure out how to dress for my age, for my body, for this town. It is a constant struggle. I'm telling you, I never quite feel like I nail it.
You don't have a uniform?
No.
See, I have a uniform. This is out of the uniform. You sent me a selfie earlier with your hair, and I was like, oh, I'll wear my blue sweater, so we'll kind of match. No, I have a uniform. So, exclusive for the listeners, I used to work for Diane von Furstenberg when I lived in New York. I was a fashion girly for a couple of years. It was an incredible experience. That's a whole other episode.
It is, because you have some great stories.
But Diane, who obviously is the definition of a boss lady, iconic brand, iconic woman, wears the same thing every single day. She has a full-on uniform. And then you read things about people like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg and like those people. And it eliminates decision-making right out the gate. And especially if you're me, I don't have a I don't have a super easy body to fit. I'm very short. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know that, I'm only 5'2". I'm
Well, I don't
really
even know
short.
if you have legs. Like, I've never actually, I only know you like as a half torso.
You saw my legs in white jeans with red paint on them 15 years
That's
ago.
true.
And then you saw them under a bar.
Yeah. So no, but I love you. Oh, there they are.
And fuzzy socks, obviously.
Yep. Same.
Barefoot dreams, always. So, love. Anyway, Diane wore the same thing every day. And I have just always worn head to toe black. I've always just been, my whole wardrobe is black. I don't know why. When I was little, the first time, I don't know if you even have this memory with your kids, but my mom dressed us when we were little. I mean, we were Ralph Lauren, braided belts. No, we were dressed. Like, it was ridiculous. I look at some of the pictures, I'm like, where did you even find these clothes? Like, everything embroidered and just like crazy stuff. So the first time that my parents were like, do you want to pick out your own outfit? You can dress yourself. What I pulled from my closet at 5 was I had like black combat boots for whatever reason. I had like little boots, black combat boots, black jeans, and a black t-shirt merch from the musical Cats. And my whole family has told me the story. They're like, you looked like a crew member. You looked
like a roadie.
You looked like a roadie that was 5 years old. But weirdly, that's always been, I am in jeans, t-shirt, combat boots, head to toe black almost every day. If you follow me on TikTok, I wear like this dumb, stupid band t-shirts on repeat all the time, or a black turtleneck in every single fabrication cut imaginable. I have black tank turtlenecks. I have a jersey one. I have a silk one. I have a bodysuit. I have cashmere sweaters. Like, I will wear a black turtleneck at any given moment, even in the summer. I have a sleeveless one now. That's the one I've been living in. So that's my uniform, and jeans.
It's a lot healthier than mine, for real.
I mean, but you always look so cute and pulled together.
But I don't like it anymore. There's a lot of self-loathing again. Back to the identity crisis. Like, my body shape is different. Like, I'm just not what I was. But why am I holding myself to this standard when at the time I didn't think it was good either? Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. Oh
I look back at pictures and I'm like, wow, I looked good then. And I remember being in the picture. I remember seeing that picture and going, I look fucking ugly. I hate myself. I hate my body. I have the body of Grover, like little belly, long, gangly limbs.
It's the classic thing. You see photos of yourself from years ago and you're like, like high school. And I'm like, I can't believe I thought that I was fat. What a waste of energy for so many years that I thought that I was fat in these photos when I weighed 115 pounds.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, Lisi, you may hate yourself now, but when you're 70, you're going to fucking wish you looked like this. So just be happy. Because in 20 years,
we're
honey,
in our prime.
Well, are we? You are. I'm in a different prime.
I mean,
I'm like, yeah, I'm a young old person. I'm at the younger side of the old person. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is funny. It's that whole concept too of just like, I'm not ugly. I'm just poor.
That's true. But also, like, why am me, all of us? This is a cultural thing, and I kind of want to stop it now. I'm making a pledge to stop doing this now because I do it all the time. Stop apologizing for being old, Lisi. Stop it. Stop.
Right.
Like, but that's the identity. That's the culture. I'm like, do people think I'm less than because I'm older? Do people not want to hire me anymore because I'm older? Like, I didn't make this attitude up on my own. It is a reflection of the culture that we live in. And so there's this tendency to want to apologize for still being alive. And I want to stop doing that. I need to shift the energy and just be, you know what, motherfuckers, I'm here.
Well, ageism is real.
It's so real. It's so real.
It's real.
Here we are trying to be on the healthier side of identity crisis, but we're working against this culture machine, advertising, marketing that is constantly telling us differently. So how do you survive that? How do you thrive in the midst of an entire culture telling you you're no longer relevant, but wanting to be relevant, knowing that you're still relevant, knowing that in some ways you're better than you were? I can honestly say that I am a much better writer today than I was 25 years ago. Hands down.
Of course.
Of course.
But also, you are relevant. You're so relevant to people my age. You're so relevant to this audience. Absolutely. Look at the response that we got when we announced that we were doing this book. People were so excited. You are relevant.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's
that.
just,
But as a culture,
I feel crazy too because I'm like,
right.
everything is geared towards Gen Z, and I'm a full ass adult millennial. And again, I always kind of wanted to be adult my whole life. So there is this sense of pride that comes with it. And I've just kind of always loved those women that have a diva grand dame energy.
Yes.
Like I always admired like an Elaine Stritch or like Elizabeth Taylor, and you know, people like that who are just like, oh darling. I love that vibe, and
Yeah.
I've always kind of been that way. Like, and it has nothing to do with money or age whatsoever. It's fully just a belief. When I was 21, 22 on the Kinky Boots tour, everyone would go out to the bars after the show. They're like, oh, we're going out to the clubs, we're going out to the bars. And I would say, okay, have fun with that, darling. I'll be at the Ritz. And I was literally like 21. Like, I've always been this way. And I would go to the fanciest hotel after the show in town, and I would have my martini or a glass of champagne, maybe get a little snacky, or I'd find a steakhouse. Like, I'd find like the closest. Literally, I'm finding like Morton's, you know, in Cincinnati and going there because I'm like, this is what I have to do. And people made fun of me and thought that I was being so grand and almost ostentatious, but I'm like, if I'm gonna pay $40 for a drink or for drinks, if I'm gonna pay $40 or $50 for drinks after the show, why in the world would I not go have it out of a crystal glass at the Ritz-Carlton? And why would I go have like 5 watered down vodka sodas out of a plastic cup in a dive? I don't want it.
Do it right or don't do it.
It's not about money or anything. It's about just like elevating experiences for yourself. So I've always been that way. But even like when I'm around younger people, like my godmother's kids are like Clive's cousins are 25 and 22 that just got out of college and all of that. I'm like, oh, you kids back in my day.
I'm telling you, you're an old gay man. You might be Elton John. I kind of feel like you're Elton John. I love it. And that's probably why we're such good friends. You age up by 20 years and I try to age down. So we're actually the exact same age.
We meet in the middle. I think
Maybe
we're both probably
38.
35.
35.
35. Like,
you skip right over 30s, 40s, 50s. You're in your mid 60s.
Right. I want to hang out with people my parents' age. I
know.
Yeah,
you're mid 60s, fabulous Broadway.
So crazy. When I was single, I said to everyone, I was like, I feel like a character in a Nancy Meyers movie. I feel like a divorcee. I would go to the beach and like have a glass of Sancerre and cry and look at the ocean. Like after my breakup, like full Diane Keaton energy, totally non-ironically dead serious. But I've always been that way. I've always wanted to hang out with the moms. I've always wanted to hang out with older people. And Clive says to me, he's like, baby, you cannot just like hang out with my parents. That can't be your friends group. I'm like, yes, but they're awesome. They're
and that's
so
who
fun.
You connect with. Yes, it can. That's another thing we have to shatter. Hang out with who you connect with. Let's let go of this identity stuff. Let's agree to shatter it right now. Yeah. Shatter it. It's so easy to say, but I'm really going to stop apologizing for being alive and for surviving 5 decades on this goddamn planet. I mean, honestly.
And life is hard. Life throws you curveballs, and life is hard.
And the older you get, the more balls you're ducking.
I know. I feel that way too. Compared to my early 20s, I'm like, life was so simple. Life was so simple then. My best friend and I say it all the time. We look at pictures of ourselves when we were 22, 23, and I'm like, who are those girls? They had no idea. We were so young. Mm-hmm. It's wild. And it's not that long ago. And I mean, really, it's not that long ago, but life changes so fast. And especially the past 5 years have changed a lot of our lives so drastically. So it's a journey.
I think we have to just be nimble, see it as a journey. Know that we're all going to die one day and that none of this is going to matter. And I know that sounds grim, but it's literally the one thing that gives me comfort when all else fails. I'm like, everybody here is going to die. I'm going to die. None of this fucking matters. And that sounds horrible, but it's liberating.
Yeah, it is liberating. And I also find comfort in the fact because I feel, again, we talked about this last week, but comparison is the thief of joy. You look around and everyone seems to have these linear paths and they have their careers and they have their their husbands and kids and houses and all these things that check these boxes societally and culturally. And there's people that I know on a more personal level that on the surface, yes, they have all of those things. They're having the same identity crises that we are. They don't know if they want to quit their job or if they want to move to a new city or if they want to break up with their boyfriend who's seemingly great. Everyone is going through it, even though on the surface, it may look like everyone has their shit together for the most part.
I'm so grateful that I have lived my life sort of what feels right at the moment, and then I just do that thing. I think people that have that plan, even though it seems like they're winning at the moment, I feel for them because I have yet to know a person whose life worked out the way they planned. It's not possible. It's never going to work out the way you planned. And so now, expectations, we know where that gets us.
Expectations are resentments waiting to happen.
And so now you're expecting all these things to happen. They don't happen. Now you're interpreting them as I'm a loser, I'm a failure, the world hates me, I'm a victim. When really, no, it's just, we have no idea. COVID has taught me that much, which is you have no idea what's around the corner, people. You better be nimble. You better be ready to pivot. And you better be ready to show up with a smile on your face no matter what happens, because that's the only way through this journey.
Yeah.
Pivot.
And also, no, it's not just you. Everyone's going through it. Everyone's going through it. We're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to figure everything out. I mean, that's the message, I guess. If we're closing out with a message in all of this is just settle where you're at, bloom where you're planted. Everything in life is temporary. Sometimes I feel like that bitch that's stomping down 9th Avenue. And then other times I want to be at the ranch with the cows. And it's okay for me to be both.
We're all those things. I'm the girl that can stay up till 4 a.m. in New York City, and I'm the girl that's in bed reading happy as a clam at 8 p.m. in Laguna Beach. Like, I'm a million things. I've had a million careers. I'm now working at a store. I'm so excited for this chapter. Like, there's just, let's be all the things.
I think we've touched on everything in terms of identity crisis today. I don't really know what else there is to say. We have our final message that went out, and just bloom where you're planted, y'all. Bloom where you're planted. That's pretty much it. This is what happens every time we have a call. Lisi and I are, by the end, brain dead.
My brain is a puddle. You are the podcast alpha for sure. You're so good at driving this train. And I'm literally at the introvert point where I'm like, I'm done talking. I don't want any more stimulation. I have to turn off these lights. But yes, the identity crisis. We have decided to be fluid with our identities and just allow and not attach to any identity. I know I'm not making that up. Like, obviously, like Buddhism and everything else and every other psychologist on planet Earth. I'm not trying to be fresh take here. Just saying that it is a cliche for a reason because it is true.
Love it. Love nothing
Love
more.
you.
Love you so much. We love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in, GLUs. We love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Okay,
Thank you for listening. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.